Welcome to KNN for this week. We are looking at a couple of things from GW, new releases coming out, and spending some time with the Chaos Knights.
Yes.
Right here.
Codex Chaos Knights dropped.
Yeah.
And we had the weekend to take a look at the book and give it a thorough read. And
even I read it.
Do a little bit of a comparison with it. So, I'll be honest, I went into it thinking it was pretty much going to be Imperial Knights with black hats.
Okay.
And I think the Chaos Knights do have a different play style. They did give them a thing that I was really happy to see, because there's like the Preceptor in the Imperial Knight army, which buffs your armigers in that army, and that the War Dogs in here get the similar buff from the new Knight they put out as well. So yeah, I went through and I read the whole book, cover to cover, and that's the kind of player I usually am. The fluff in the story is Games Workshop. I mean,
it's good. I thought that part was really good.
Yeah, it's really solid. It actually inspired me to start a different army based on the fluff in this book, but then to be able to add a knight or two to that army. I've never been a big fan of the running a solid knight army. I like to have my infantry, and my
just
tanks,
adding stuff
and everything else. But it just really pulled me back into like the whole like nature of chaos, and I love how dark chaos is in the Warhammer universes. And I mean, Games Workshop, in my opinion, sets the bar a lot for like their storylines, the quality of their publications. You know, like they're a big company, they have a dedicated staff. It's hard pressed to outdo them. I mean, you may not like the nature of their stories, you may not care for some of the aesthetic of what they do, but what they do very well. And
the fluff was good.
Yeah.
I didn't go in expecting... I tried to not go in expecting that they were just going to be Imperial Knights with a lot more skulls or something.
Lots of spikes.
My problem is that when I was all finished, that's what I felt like they did.
Okay, see, I didn't feel that way.
So I'm just going to address two things. One, I read about all these houses, okay? And in the Imperial Knights, there's like 6 houses, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And they were on par, because there's another 6, maybe 7, and I was really excited. I was like, okay, they're going to give them their own thing. And then you get to the back, and they only have 2. And that was where I was like, okay, strike one, lazy.
So in the Imperial Knight book, yeah, you have you have the independent knight households that have a different houses, and then you have the allied with the Mechanicum, which you have different groups that are that as well. And in this one, you have the same distinctions, but there's no individual houses.
Right. And so for me, and again, I actually really liked it. So I hate to I don't want to just be GW fanboy though. I want to be honest about what's in here. And if they had written about each house and given them their each unique ability, which to me wouldn't take an act of God. I mean, again, you just addressed how great their story is, and it's very true. Spend another hour and a half to write 4 more, you know what I mean? Specialties.
I don't think it's as easy as that. I think there's play testing and balance issues.
Fine. Your Games Workshop, though,
I know what you're saying.
You did 2. You had a bunch of houses. I was super excited because I actually suspected that they were going to do it lazy and slap Chaos right here in exchange for Imperial and just be really lazy with it. And that's kind of what I felt like. The one thing I did take away that I thought was super cool was the packs and the damnations. Is that what it was? I think
for the Dreadblades? For the Dreadblades?
So cool, yeah. Where, for once, because most of Games Workshop stuff is, hey, you can roll on this chart, or go ahead and pick one. This one, you've got a flavor to it where you say, you can roll on this chart twice.
Or pick one. So if you pick, you get the one you want, or you can risk it
and get maybe not the one that you want. And then on the flip side, there comes with it on the flip side of this a bad thing for you. And they're called, I think they're called damnations. Thank you. Damnations. And on the flip of that, you can either pick one or roll for 2.
No, so other way around. You roll 2d6.
Right. And you get
No. After determining, you must either select two different. You have to pick two.
You have to pick two or
roll
for
one,
which could really hurt you.
Yeah, if you roll the one
they only impact you in the game if you
basically fail a leadership.
You have to take a leadership test, and if you fail, then your damnation comes into it. And again, let me tell you about that in my head. When I read that, it almost made up for it all because I thought it was super cool that you have this internal conflict of chaos and the damnation that's affecting you, and you have to fight it. And again, this isn't really played to the Chaos Knights, but what Games Workshop did, I really like the fluff of you can roll or you can pick, which
very
I always thought
flavorful.
is dumb.
Very flavorful, though.
But this is really cool. You can pick, or hey, if you don't want to pick, you have a shot of not getting something good.
I mean, your stratagems are. I mean, some of them are cut and paste out of the Imperial Knight Codex, but there's a few new things in here as well.
And don't get me wrong, I think some cut and paste is going to be is
they're still knights. They're still got the same.
Coming over from the bad thing. I just felt like, hey, we could have gone a little deeper on the abilities for the houses because they have that on the Imperial side. And then when they do that stuff, and the weapons are all really similar. I think there's a couple of different ones. The laser decimator, I believe, is different.
Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of mimics the effect of the weapon on the Imperial Knight side, though.
It mimics it? Okay.
That the Preceptor got.
Hey, at least they renamed it.
Right.
Okay.
And the new models look amazing, too.
Oh, okay. That's a whole different section, though. The models are incredible.
So I don't know how well this is going to show up here, but there is the new Knight Desecrator model that you can make the two new Knight builds with. This is the guy that, if you have him with the big laser cannon, then he's going to buff your war dogs, which are armigers in this army. Yeah. And then you can also build the hand-to-hand specialist, which gets extra hits if you roll sixes and is just kind of a war monster too. There's some real fun things though in the book. One of our Knight players came in today and he was talking about some of the shenanigans he did. He made a 2,000 point Knight list that has 6 Knights in it.
The good Knights.
2 of them are war dogs, and 4 of them are normal scale Knights.
Army, okay.
Yeah, for Chaos Knights. And he's really excited, and he's one of the more competitive players, so he's talking about how he broke
So how
the
many
game.
does he have? 6 total? 2 war dogs?
2 war dogs and 4 normal size Knights, yeah. None of the really big ones. None of the...
You didn't take any of the...
None of the Castellan class or the Valiant class size ones. They're called Tyrants in this.
Well, what is this? The Desecrators are the normal size Knight, is that correct?
Yeah, but
Desecrator and the Rampager?
Desecrator and the Despoiler, I want to say.
No. It starts with an R. I'll look it up right here. Rampager and the Desecrator.
Okay, you're right.
And they're normal Knights, right?
They're the normal size. They're sort of based on the Paladin chassis.
Got it. That's what I was.
But their legs are different in this kit.
Okay.
Now, so you'll still be using the Imperial Knight kit, I think, to make the Warden kit.
There's actually a note of it right in the Codex here that Chaos Knights are based on the chassis of Imperial Knights, of course, which is totally acceptable to me. Build some variants. To build a War Dog, you'll need the Armiger kit. To build a Knight Despoiler, you'll need the Imperial Knight Warden kit. And then to build the Knight Tyrant, you will need either the Castellan or the Knight Valiant kit. So, and I thought that was kind of cool too. And again, I think it's great. So I came off maybe a little too negative. I love the fluff in the Codex. I agree with Chaos on that. When I read about the houses, I was pretty excited. And then when I got to the back and saw there's basically 2 kind of umbrellas, right? If I'm saying that right, and then there's 3 or 4 houses under each one. Iconoclast and the other one. I'm terrible.
The Infernal Household.
Yeah, and the Infernal. And basically, instead of breaking down each one under there, they just gave you options. If you play Infernal Household, you get these rules. If you play Iconoclast, you get these rules. Again, they changed some of the rules, so that's pretty cool.
I don't even think they did stratagems that are unique to houses either. So yeah, there's nothing that really separates the houses at all.
And I just want to call it fair. Again, I don't want to be the GW fanboy and say, oh, it's awesome, it's great. It's really good. I thought they could have done a little more with it if you're going to go ahead and do it. You know, if you're going to come out with a codex.
They do one thing, and this is my one gripe about GW's writing when they do things like this, though, which is whatever book they're writing about, they're going to tell you why this army is the best.
Right. You don't like that, huh?
I get the salesmanship that it is. but it's like when it's like in every example of like the Chaos Knights fighting Imperial Knights, it's like the Chaos Knights win every time.
Yes.
And then you read the Imperial
But
Knight
every
book.
codex is that way.
Yeah, and it's just I get it. It's the propaganda for your side, but that's my only negative I'd say about their writing. I love their campaign books and stuff when they do stuff too, but like I said, there's story arcs and like they talk about how the knights fall to chaos and what happens, and it's dark and it's gritty and it's the nice dark gothic future we love about 40K. And I think once again, I think the book is great. I don't think it stands out among the books in any way, but it definitely hits all the marks that we expect from Games Workshop.
Yep.
So if you are a Knight fan, if you plan on playing a Chaos Knight army, it is a must-have for you. If you are someone like me who likes to dabble and have a Knight or two in your army for bigger games, then I definitely think it's worth having as well. But if you're just a player who you're never going to see these things on the battlefield, then I wouldn't worry about the book. But I'm a collector. I'm going to buy every book no matter if I play the army or not.
Yeah, you're a bad person to ask.
Odds are I'm playing the army anyway.
Yep.
But I enjoyed the read. It was fun to read. It really got me thinking. Like I said, I have one of these at home already, and I have a couple other unbuilt Knights that are going to all be for Chaos. And I will be building my Chaos Knights, and I will be building other armies to support them as well. I got Death Guard, Thousand Suns, Black Legion, and my new project.
Very cool. And I think that wraps the Knights.
Yeah, I think that's about it for Chaos
the Codex.
Knights.
Yeah.
So we have new releases from Games Workshop this week. We can talk about those really quick.
This week is Sylvaneth.
I know. I was gonna say there's one you're excited about.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. They get endless spells. Woohoo! The Codex is finally coming, or Battle Tome. Battle Tome is finally coming. Again, I don't know what the delay was on that, but like I said, I think it should have come out with the Loon Curse box. But we'll see the Battle Tome this week, and this endless spells and new Awakened Wildwoods.
Yep, new scenery piece.
One of the cool changes in the rules, and again, I've read a bunch online. There's not a ton of spoilers out there on this one, but one of their abilities is they get to pop from Wildwood to Wildwood without rolling, which is cool. Really cool. You don't have to roll; you just do it.
And the new endless spells are always exciting to see, and they look really cool, and they're fun to paint up. I mean, I have a painted Sylvaneth army, so I'll probably pick up the spells just to add.
Yeah. Gotta have the spells.
Yeah, gotta have the spells, and then. We also have the new Wood Elves for Blood Bowl dropping this week.
Yep.
We have the starter set for... We talked about this last week as well. We got the starter set for Thousand Suns. We got the starter set for Primaris Space Wolves.
Yep.
And we got the Spirit Seer coming out in a little clamshell pack you can buy individually. Only previously available in the...
I know some people get really excited about those. I guess...
Wake the Dead box. I think
it came out Wake of the Dead.
And then the Apocalypse Formation.
And it came out in the Apocalypse Formation. Anyway, yeah.
So we have all that happening for Games Workshop this week.
I think the bigger news for Games Workshop, though, is on the horizon for the 3rd of August, I believe, is the release date.
Yes.
And we're going to spend a little bit of time on that. We actually get an early copy.
Yes.
Not because anybody listened at Games Workshop yet. We're working on that process, but because we ordered enough to get it early.
For our store. So Warcry is the new game that is dropping. It is, in Games Workshop's own words, Kill Team for Age of Sigmar. And Kill Team, like, worldwide has had a lot of success.
Yes.
In our local store, it hasn't seen the same success.
We've talked about that, though. Why?
But I think
you got a diehard Warhammer following.
I think Warcry will be more successful. One thing Warcry is doing differently than Kill Team, though, is it's putting out factions that are unique to it.
Yes, there's also some cards that you have to play, just so you know.
Yeah.
I read about it.
Yeah, no.
I didn't want you to be upset.
I know. I'm not a deck builder guy, but I know there's a card aspect to it as well. It looks really fun, though. It looks really fast-paced. The box set is amazing. It comes with great new scenery. It comes with all new models we haven't seen anywhere else before. And I love Chaos models. They're so much fun to paint, and that's part of the appeal when I got into this hobby back in the mid-90s, was like the Chaos stuff is just so weird and twisted and warped. It just drew me into the game.
Right. And this looks on par with that. That some of the Chaos stuff is more along that. Now, Chaos is twisted as it is, but it's more on that twisted end with the dreamlike crows.
It reminds me of the old like Realms of Chaos books from the 90s, and or those might have even been published in the late 80s. But anyway, it reminds me of that era, though. But with Games Workshop's modern technology to like make these amazing models.
And they look great.
And so, yeah, we're going to get a demo copy. Ideally, and I'm throwing this at Denactum right now, ideally we'll get a chance to build and play a game before the next KNN so that we can report on how the game plays.
Oh, before next Tuesday?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we should have in our possession this weekend, so...
From what we see, we just have a question. Warcry Chaos only? I don't believe so. I believe it's everything.
It is not Chaos only.
It is not Chaos only. It's just focusing on Chaos. But there are data cards coming out for
all the armies.
Not all the armies, but
good
a lot
chunk of the armies.
I know Deepkin gets some cards, which I was a little surprised. I was excited for because I played that. But it's for a lot of them.
For the modern armies, for the armies that have come out with Age of Sigmar, because you got
the orcs, the
Iron Jaws are in there.
Okay, but they're not as modern. Or are they modern?
Yeah,
they're modern.
Iron Jaws came out afterwards.
So
Gloomspite Gits are in there.
Yep.
I'm gonna say any of the armies that came out after Age of Sigmar, I think got support in this game.
So we'll see.
But I don't think they're putting support out. So if you're still playing your 7th edition High Elves, sorry, they probably don't have cards for it.
But yeah, so it is for all the armies in Age of Sigmar, at least.
All the new
It's
armies.
more than just Chaos. I know when I told Chaos that, actually, we talked about this on the phone, I think, a couple.
Yeah.
Like, it's just Chaos. And I'm like, the order sheet has, like, data cards for
I went and looked it up, and it's like no, there's definitely a good chunk of armies on there as well.
It's for more than Chaos, so hopefully that answers your question. So we're I'm excited about that, because Chaos is fun. I have fun. When I play Apocalypse, that's what I'm going to play, the demon side, but there are other armies that I would like to play.
When Kill Team dropped in our local meta here, no one talked about it. No one was excited about it. Like, It wasn't like we had a bunch of people like, oh yeah, Kill Team. We have 2 or 3 guys who talk about it still and want to play games of it. But like with Warcry, we already have a lot of our Age of Sigmar community saying this looks really cool. This looks really interesting. And I think there's a holdover for the fantasy guys. Fantasy always used to take way longer to play than 40K did. All the big regiment combats and all that. And I think even though Age of Sigmar is way sped up, there's just a lingering sensation of feeling of if I'm going to play Age of Sigmar, it's going to take longer than a 40K game. And so this is like condensing it. Not to mention the fact we have a big Underworlds community here.
Yep.
And this is basically a step from Underworlds towards Age of Sigmar.
Yes.
And
and I think, and honestly, Kill Team was that. As I put on the business hat now and take the gamer hat off for a second, I really think that was, and again, Games Workshop, genius company. I got no qualms with a lot of the stuff they do when I have the business hat on, but that's really what Kill Team was. It was a gateway game. It really is. It's, hey, get into 40K. Oh wait,
40K
you don't
feels
want to
overwhelming.
Buy $500 worth of models.
You just got to buy a squad.
Yeah, just buy it, and it's troops. Don't even worry about getting a leader or anything. It's just some troops. Here you go. Go play. Boom. Now you got guys rolling from Kill Team. Oh, I got a troop choice now. It's a little bit like, selling drugs a little bit. You could do that legally, legal drugs. But you do that, and I think, again, Age of Sigmar, I don't even know if it needs that much injection. And the game actually looks, to me, a lot different than Kill Team. It's got aspects that Kill Team didn't have. And so we'll see when we get the details out of the box. But it looks great. The scenery looks great. The models look fantastic. I wish we could do an unboxing. But, again, Games Workshop is way ahead of the game on that now, too. They didn't used to be that way, and now they do it like 3 or 4 weeks in advance. So no one can kind of get the jump on them for that. But it was really good. There is unboxing at the Warhammer community site. You can check that out.
Yep.
They even brought in 3 random players. And I don't know if
I think they're random. I think these are guys who do stuff in the communities.
But they don't have association with GW.
Right,
so it's not like Duncan and team.
Outside,
it's outside folks. I'm sure they have some deeper connection somehow. But I thought that was kind of cool. But again, I take all that stuff with a grain of salt when I watch it, because it's like, well, yeah, it's a production. They better bring in some people who are going to say positive things. I totally get that, and I will always want to be as positive as possible. But like with the Knights Codex, I also want to be honest and be like, hey, I expected some more details in the houses or whatever the case would be. So you get the full fact.
But I mean, that box set looks packed.
Oh, it's great. Looks awesome.
And like the guys were saying in the unboxing video, you'd love to see a box set that is just full of sprues.
Yes.
You're just like, look at all the stuff to build and paint and all that. So I'm really excited for
Definitely has that.
I'm really excited for that. I am.
I thought Kill Team had a lot too, though.
It did.
So they did a good job with both. But anyway,
Yeah, so Warcry, we're gonna hopefully give a review of the game on next Tuesday, and once we have a chance to go over it.
Does that mean I have to have the army painted by
No,
then?
no, we're not gonna film the battle.
Oh,
So we can
okay,
just we
that
can
I can totally
we can
do.
slap some gray plastic on the board and play a game,
Okay.
and see how it plays out. And then another exciting thing we talked about a little bit last week, and we have in stock now too, is the Shadowrun 6th World Beginner Box. This is for the 6th edition of Shadowrun from Catalyst Games. And we have not cracked one of these open yet, but this box that I'm holding right here will be used shortly in RPG Out of the Box. They're finishing up the D&D any week now, and they'll be doing Starfinder, which is a really brief adventure, and then moving into Shadowrun to show off this game. The game itself drops in 2 weeks. The core rulebook comes out in 2 weeks. August, I think, 1st. I think it's releasing the first day of Gen Con.
A lot of stuff is.
Yeah, that's
I do
early
notice,
August. Early
I do
August
notice
is generally...
that Warcry is releasing in Gen Con.
Yeah.
From a store perspective, I'm wondering how it's going to work for us, but we'll get it. We'll get it to work.
And it's this, I mean, at the same time that Pathfinder 2nd edition is dropping as well.
A lot of stuff dropping at Gen Con. I think that's normal.
We're both big Shadowrun fans, though, so it's always exciting to see the game continue and a new edition of the game dropping. And I have every intention at Gen Con of snagging a book while I'm there and hopefully getting a few signatures from the design crew. I love talking to the guys and doing all that, so it's always fun to kind of rub elbows with the designers and get their opinion on stuff. And just give good feedback to them too. You know that I mean, the internet allows people to give a lot of hate these days, and so I know a lot of like the designer stuff don't read the comments and whatnot. So it's kind of good to see them in person and be like, "Hey, good job, love the new edition."
Well, you need to read it first, though,
right?
Because I don't think you loved the last edition.
I did not.
Okay,
I did not. But I found my problem is I found the game I love. And when you find a game you love, it's really hard, and you kind of like set a new bar for other games to reach for me. And Genesis is still my game. I played Shadowrun last night using Genesis, and fantastic session.
But you need Shadowrun to make the Genesis super good.
Yes,
and vice versa.
Yes, and I love the world still. I mean, the Shadowrun world is just one of my favorites.
It's still one of my favorites too. So.
But yeah, if you get a chance to check out the starter box, if you've never played Shadowrun before, the beginner box is where to start. It has pre-made characters, it has an adventure ready to go, everything you need to really play the game, except probably for D6s. I don't know if it comes with dice. It doesn't sound like it does.
Doesn't matter. You should always buy dice.
Oh no, dice, and of course handfuls of D6s. It does come with dice.
You're still gonna want to buy some, though.
So everything you need to play the game is in here. Instant guide to the 6th world, 4-page flash primer, the quick start rules, an adventure, 4 character dossiers, 55 gear cards. Cards are new, making gameplay easier. Okay, so they're just a supplement to the game. You don't need them to play the game, but they make it easier. A full poster, which is maps for the adventure, as well as a look at the Seattle Metroplex. Well, now if there's a map of Seattle in here, I might just have to pick one up just for that. I mean...
Here we go, nerding out.
Oh man, and then dice, of course, handfuls of D6s. So anyway,
we should totally do an unboxing.
We should do an unboxing video.
You could do it with that one right there.
Yeah, we could.
You're just gonna hand it to him anyway.
Let's do it now.
I gotta see these dice.
Do you need a knife?
I have one on my hip, but I didn't need it.
Okay.
Let's see. I just gotta see the dice. I mean, I know you're excited about the map. We can give him an open box, right?
Yeah, of course we can.
It's not paying for it. Okay.
What do we got?
Some ads. Instant guide to the 6th world. I like this kind of stuff because it jumps you right into it.
So
that's
there's your 4-page primer.
Okay, I gotta say, because I saw this in the back of the magazine we got from a distributor today. Okay. And they're all different.
Oh, they got the Big Ten corporations.
Whoa! Check this out. So the one on the back is different.
What one on the back?
The one on the back of the magazine we got is an addition to this.
New Game Trade magazine came with another dossier. So if you get a chance,
I gotta tell you, these are way cool. So you get the character sheet with the stats, and then you get a bunch of history in them. So hey, this is really neat now. This is way cool. So they're dossiers. They're not just like character sheets. Oh, the front?
Yeah.
So, and then they break out, and then Wow, and then they have rules on the back on how to play your character quicker.
This
That might be really
this
good
is
for
good.
Shadowrun. Maybe it won't be so
This
convoluted.
is really good. Okay, and then we have
Quick
the
start rules.
Let's take
pull those.
So quick start rules, really nice art, really good high finish product as well.
I was just gonna say this
And-
is a top notch for a starting kit. I've seen starting kits that have just shoddy paper. I mean, this is like a 4-page character
these
sheet.
are nice.
This is fantastic.
Game Master
So-
reference table has all the character sheets in there for the GM to be able
That's
to look at the characters
fantastic
too.
for starting characters.
So you got like your reference tables at the back. You have all your basic rules and everything in here as well. The whole thing is... Do we have the page numbers? There we go. Not counting this last page. We're at 23, so 24 pages counting the reference tables and everything. That's not bad for quick start rules at all. Shadowrun has kind of a reputation of being a pretty rule-intensive system. So seeing it simplified like this...
So this is
really
what
nice.
they say. The new edition is easier to play and learn.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier than it's ever been in any previous edition. The role-playing is still deep. The rule system is built around gaining advantages and taking risks, building up spectacular moments that are part of great gaming sessions. Faster gameplay and conflict resolution, which I think would be really good for Shadowrun.
Yes.
Keep the game moving and plunge players deeper into the intrigue, and then more pre-generated characters. So that's kind of like it in a nutshell of what is really different. But anyway, kind of exciting. Next piece.
All right, so I'll trade you this.
Okay.
So then we have the Battle Royale Adventure. So here's the adventure pack without trying to give spoilers. Same quality, really nice. I mean, like, yeah, just real high quality.
How much is this box?
print. That's a great question.
Oh, I thought we put one out.
Yeah, I don't remember what they priced at.
Oh, okay.
We'll have production go take a peek really quick and get us an answer.
Big
Oh,
poster. Look
dude.
at that. Okay, are the dice cool?
Okay,
Because
poster first. We pulled
okay, don't pull too much at once. The poster's really cool, dude. You're gonna like it. Already, I think I see that you like it.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess I'm picking one of these up.
Poster that's
Upside
Seattle,
down.
right?
That's upside
It's
down.
upside down. Nice. This isn't
All right.
scripted.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, and then you have some
Okay.
of the stuff on
And
the
then
back.
that's for the adventure.
For the adventure. That's fantastic. Cool. Actually, that would
Okay.
help me when I play. We'll do the
cards.
dice last. The cards, which will just help.
$25
all this
retail
for
price
a
on
low 25. Dude, those dice are fantastic. Those are fantastic dice.
Let's see. Do they have the Shadowrun symbol? Oh, they're all fancy.
They're real fancy. They're not
Okay.
like, here's some dice.
We're both dice collectors,
Yeah,
so
sorry. And they got the numbers on
they
them.
do
So
have the Shadowrun symbol on some of
as
them.
much as I love collecting dice.
Oh no! See what they did here?
Here, let's put
So look at this.
Here, I'm gonna see if they can
So look
get
at this.
real close.
So the one is bad. Like the one is awful. Like it's if you get a one,
It's the horns?
It's the little jester cap. Okay.
No, it's like isn't that like a ram?
Is it the ram's head? That could be. Yeah, you could be right. I think it's just,
One, I don't know if that'll focus well. But the dice are
So-
worth $25 by themselves.
well, get this.
I'll tell you this
So you
right
got
now.
you got like the ram's head. Like that's like your bad mojo.
Yep, that's
you
your
roll
one.
So 2, 3, and 4 are well readable and have like little circuitry around them. But in Shadowrun, in this edition, 5s and 6s are successes.
Okay. That's all right. Sorry about that.
So 5s and 6s are successes, and 5s and 6s have the Shadowrun symbol, the logo.
Oh, the 5s do too?
Yeah, because those are your successes.
That's
So you
great.
just count your Shadowrun symbols for your successes, and your ram heads towards your fumbles. That's really neat.
Nice set of dice. Only $25. That's
Yeah, it
all
is.
it is.
I'm a little blown away by that for how much you get in this. I mean, the dice and the map are $25.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Okay, there's our first unboxing on air of anything.
That was from the hip too. We didn't even plan that. Nice. Excited
Yeah,
about
this is
that.
going to
Actually,
go to RPG out of
Yeah,
the
maybe it
box,
won't
not
now.
to my stash here.
maybe it won't.
We'll give
now.
it that one. That is so cool. I need that map. That map of Seattle. I'm going to laminate it and put it up where I game.
Okay. I think you know where to get one.
I do.
At your local game store.
That's
So
right.
check out your local game store as well. Make sure you visit those guys wherever they're at for you. Support them. Don't go to the big box stores. We'll get in trouble for saying that, but visit your local game stores. So there's a little LGS plug. Gen Con. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That kind of hit me this morning.
Yeah. So if you see us there, I know we're not internet famous or anything. So
you can say hi, though.
You can say hi. Saw you on the internet, then we'd be just tickled pink.
Yep.
So, but we will be at Gen Con, and we will be bringing some War Machine Hordes. We're also going to take a look at Monster Apocalypse from Privateer Press. So be on the lookout for that stuff. Got a lot of guys in the store wanting to get back into Warmer Hordes, I know, and then we have a couple.
I've been painting on my Troll Blood, so I'm excited.
I got my Grimkin. They're getting painted. I'm prepping for our Apocalypse battle, though. I've been building demons like crazy.
Sweet.
Probably won't be painted.
We may have to. We may not do Apocalypse this week.
No, we're going to delay it. I won't be ready.
We'll do Warcry instead.
We'll do Warcry, but I won't be ready for it.
Oh, I'm so excited for Warcry. The Warband I want isn't out yet. I want the Crow one.
They come out right at this. We don't get it early. I thought they come out right on that same weekend.
They don't. It's a
different
they
don't. I thought they did.
It's the guys from the Realm of Light who are like the Sword Masters.
Okay.
But I really want the Crow guys. They look so cool.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. This week we got RPG Out of the Box coming up right after us here.
Yep.
Then we got Dungeon Delvers tomorrow. We dive into Gloomhaven. I think we're serving some
back to our original group again. So.
Yep. We'll be joined back by Bones. We'll maybe hear a little bit about his trip across the country. And then we'll be into Emergent RPG, and Saturday will bring us our final battle, right?
Final battle of the Astra Militarum. Yep. We'll be doing our final one, which is the Sabotage mission, which should be interesting because I think he's actually bringing Space Marine allies this time because with the story how it's been, the Guard have been mostly wiped out. Like the Guard got ambushed on their way to the site where the Marines were, and so he's going to be... And the mission specifically says it should be more infantry-based. And I know he has more Space Marines painted than he does Guard for infantry. So
well, that'll be fun.
We'll mixing it up a little bit there.
Yep. No more Ready Table 1 on Sunday. So if you were looking for that, and I kind of doubt you were because we don't have a lot of viewers for it, that won't be coming on air any longer. We may do something with Magic down the road. But we are going to change studios.
Yes, our studio's changing. We have some big plans for the studio. We'll be changing the layouts a little bit. It'll look a little different, but we're shooting for a more professional look as always.
Yep.
And the changes should also allow us to film more battle reports and bring more content to Twitch and YouTube both.
Yes.
So we're just working on getting a schedule going. It'll probably flood YouTube at first until we get a schedule set because we need people committing to come play battle reports on certain days so we can live stream them. But if we can't get that commitment, we're just going to record when we can and put more content up.
Yeah, we need to get more famous so people want to come play.
Also, the website, while still under construction, is getting further to finished. We have a social media page now, and our Discord information is on there. So if you want to join our Discord, please check out chaoticnight.com and go to our social media page. It has all the information there to find all of our social media. You can follow us. Our main ones that we post on primarily are Twitter and Facebook, however.
We're working on expanding out.
Yep, but those are our main ones. So follow us on Twitter if you haven't already. Follow us on Facebook. And, of course, follow us here on Twitch TV. And if you have a subscription to throw our way, I know for me personally, my Amazon Prime / Twitch Prime just came up yesterday. And so if you have that, if you have Amazon Prime and you are a Twitch subscriber, just so you know, you can link them together. You get a free subscription every 31 days. And we would gladly take that subscription off your hands for you.
Help us keep doing what we're doing.
Yep.
Hopefully you like it. If you got recommendations or suggestions, please post them up. Or you can comment at the website, chaoticnight.com. You can use that as an avenue too. And now it's all kind of connected. So you can maybe use that as the go-to and then get to the other social medias that way.
And as always, if you like our show, share it with your friends, please. Share it on your social media. Spread the word. The bigger we get, the more we can do.
And it's not just our show, by the way. We're talking about the entire network, all the
Yes.
games that we bring to you and all that stuff that we want to do and expand that. So give us a like, give us a follow. Check it out on the website. We will see you next week. Stay tuned for RPG Out of the Box with Bad Ash and
Yep.
crew. And
Starting at 7 o'clock Mountain Time.
And they're getting close to wrapping. So
They're
it might
getting
be
really
a finale today, but
hoping.
I won't commit to that. So, but stay tuned. They come on at 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. See you next week.
See you later.